Hello, and welcome to another episode of The End of the Search. This one I call it, There's No Inside and No Outside, and Who Meditates? And this is based on two comments that I read on my channel. And what I'm going to do is I am going to read the comment, then I'll tell you what I share with them in writing, and then we'll elaborate a bit. Now the first comment goes, less karma, less identity entrapment, less delusions, less hidden unconscious triggers, patterns, tensions, less unproductive time in meditation. There is nothing external I need besides maybe needing some kind of catalyst for the insights to open up and burn away or help renounce or help expose. There is nothing outside that I need, but I need 100 things inside. Well, I'm going to share real quick what I wrote because I'm not really sure about the context of the comment, right? But this is what I felt like sharing, what I said. In reality, there is nothing that you need, neither inside nor outside, because the you that you are identified with is a thought that suggests that you are that separate individual. The investigation here is to find out who you are. And then I said I better make a video, so just stay tuned. So it's really very simple. Right now all that there is the presence of awareness. There's just awareness. If I ask you, are you aware? Can you say that you're not aware? The problem is that you probably may be taking it as if I'm asking you, the person, are you aware? And of course the tendency is to say, yes, I am aware. But that is the mind saying I am aware. I'm pointing to the fact that that awareness is what is. Seeing happening, hearing happens or seem to happen, feelings, sensation, all of that is just a happening. To no one, it's simply a happening. And there's awareness of all that happening. But it's not a personal awareness. It's just the fact that awareness is. We're pointing to that, which is pure presence awareness. And right now, notice that there's awareness of you listening to this video. Or you could say there's awareness of this video being seen and heard. There is awareness of sensations that may be taking place. There is awareness of sounds that may be happening. There's awareness of everything that seems to be perceived. Everything is, there's awareness of all of that. But who is aware of any of it? The who is a thought that suggests that there is a who. Without the thought, all that there is just simply awareness. And that's it. There's no inside, there's no outside, there's nothing except just beingness, pure beingness. And right now, notice that that's what it is. Again, what makes it tricky is that is the mind that is registering this information and is sort of personalizing it. I am noticing. No, you are not noticing. Noticing is happening anyway with or without your consent. When you wake up in the morning and open your eyes, seeing is happening without your consent. Before the mind engages and begins to first start with the I am seeing, and then it takes a bit of until you begin to engage. Okay, I am seeing this and that and that. But prior to the mind engaging, all that there was, all that there is pure seeing, and that's all. You see? So when this idea of less karma, less identify, entrapment, well, all of that is just basically concepts that are add-on to the seeming individual, to the seeming me. If there's no me, well, of course there's no karma, it's not that there's less identity entrapment or less karma, it's that there's no karma, no identity entrapment. There's no delusions because all that pertains to the seeming center called me. But without that, all that there is what is. A delusion would be first there's a me who thinks that there's is being in delusion or so. But if there's no me, then even the idea of being in delusion doesn't even make any sense. If there's no me, there's no past, no future, because all of these are thoughts. And this is not theoretical. We can put it to the test right now. Right now, beingness is what is. Beingness, pure beingness, just experiencing. That's it. Just the experience. Again, this is it. And now in this beingness, in this experiencing, in this isness, in this awareness, which is what is, which is undeniable, who are you? You simply are. You see, this is where this is all pointing to. And then another comment somebody made, the person says, when I meditate, I naturally detach from my thoughts. I don't at all try to control or eliminate them. The deeper I go, the more I view my thoughts in a neutral way. And then I responded, thank you for your sharing. However, if I may, here's what I suggest you look at regarding your statement. Who is the one that says that meditates? Who is the one that says I naturally detach from my thoughts? Who is the one that says to go deeper? Do you see the trap? There is no one. That is why this is not for the conceptual mind to grasp nor to understand, not even to talk about. The message is pointing to what is, which is prior to a me that says that meditates, that says that is detached from thoughts, and that says that goes deeper. Right now you are. Life is. Not your life, but simply life. Anything added to it is just a story. Non-duality points to what is, which is this ever-present, non-conceptual, eternal being. Interestingly enough, it is not pointing to anything, for there is nowhere to point to nor a place to point from. But words will never do justice, because words are fabrications from the mind, and the mind itself is a thought appearing in what you are. The conceptual mind is the obstacle itself. That is why it is better to remain silent. Just notice where the words are pointing to, and without the mind's interference, dissolve in the isness that you are. Once again, when the person talks about when I meditate, that's already an identification with a someone. See? Someone that is doing a practice, in this case called meditation. And this is all mind stuff, because then he goes, I naturally detach from my thoughts. Again, who is the one that is practicing something and now says, I am gradually detaching from my thoughts? You see? You are the ever-present isness right now. There's no you who's doing or seeing anything. You're not watching this video. Watching this video is what seems to be happening in what is, and you are what is. It says, the deeper I go, the more I view my thoughts in a neutral way. Do you see? The deeper I go, there's still an identity there. The deeper I go, the more I watch the thoughts in a neutral way. In reality, I don't have to go deeper or shallower or something. Right now, life is. Thoughts may seem to appear, but if there's no identification with the me, then again, they seem to appear, but it's not that I'm watching them necessarily. It's that they just appear in what is. You see, sometimes I may say a video, for example, just watch these thoughts, don't believe in them. But the problem is, again, and I try to reiterate, is the tendency of thinking that I'm watching the thoughts. But again, this is the limitation of language, and it can go only so far. But right now, right now, are you not being? Once again, it's not you, the person who's being, is that beingness is what is. If I ask you, are you existing? You cannot say, I am choosing to exist. No, you sense that you exist. That is existence itself. That is pure existence. Are you aware? No, you're not aware. Awareness is. Everything is registered in awareness. And awareness has to be there in order for anything to be registered. So the capacity of being aware is prior to the me that claims to be aware. So right now, if I ask you, are you existing? You don't have to go to the mind or to a thought to go, yeah, I'm existing. No, the sense of existence is already, it's organic. It's a sense of, yeah, there's existence. I do exist. The problem is that you think that you exist as someone, and that someone is a thought. But right now, all that there is pure existence, isn't it? Right now, pure existence. Got it? This is very simple. This is, let's, this is the beginning, I don't know, 101, right? 101 according to school or university, right? Like the first class or something. So now, this is it. Can you say, can you see that you are? Okay? Right now, words are, you're hearing words, okay, but you are. Got it? Perfect. So, you are pure beingness. I'm going to ask you a question. In that pure beingness, which is just experiencing, it's just pure beingness right now, what could possibly distract you from beingness? And the answer would have to be a thought. You may say a feeling. Well, a feeling is a feeling, but a thought is the one that interprets. If the thought is not interpreting it, then a feeling is a feeling happening in beingness. But a thought, and by the way, a thought believed in, because a thought is also an appearance. So, without the thought, what remains? This, right? Which was prior to the thought. It is while the thought remains, and it will continue being after the thought is gone. You see? So, beingness, which is what is, does it need to do something in order to be? Does it have to do any particular exercise or practice or anything in order to be? You see? Is beingness, would beingness say, I am detaching from my thoughts? No, beingness is just being. See? It's like the space. Things can appear in the space, but the space itself allows for things to appear in it, because without the space, nothing could appear in it. But whatever appears in space has no effect on the space. We're pointing to the fact that you are that space, and right now, if there's no identification with any thoughts, what remains? And if you answer that is a thought that is trying to sneak in. I'm not asking you to answer the question. When I say what remains when there's no identification with the thoughts, is so you can realize, not you personally, but again, limitation of language, that you are. And then you go, oh, this is it. When the thought, I am an individual, is seen through, then no other thoughts can attach to it. There's nothing that the individual needs to do, and yet you notice how the individual or the seeming individual do things. Like, for example, in the case of this particular character, life woke him up very early in the morning. Life is moving it to answer this or, comment on this particular either questions or comments made on the channel, is moving it to now just do this video. But this is just a happening, and I am. But if I make any stories, I add any stories to this, like this is important, or that makes me someone special or something. No, 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 this is just a happening. It's all a seeming happening, to be more specific. But it's happening to who? And it's happening where? In when? It's just a seeming happening, but what I am remains. And this is where these videos are pointing to. And again, you are right now, even when you think that you are the person who is listening to this information, the fact is that you are, in spite of whatever seems to be taking place in your particular experience, or in the experience that the mind tries to make believe that it's yours. So right now, once again, just notice that life is, again, it's tricky because you still feel that maybe there's a sense of a me that is noticing it, but in reality there's not even a you noticing anything. However, noticing happens. Being is. Life is. I am. You see? And this is where all this is pointing to. So once again, right now, pure beingness. In beingness, is there an inside? Is there an outside? Is there anything I need to do to go deeper? You see? Is there a me who can identify or not identify with thoughts? Is there a me who's watching the thoughts? No, all that there is beingness, in which everything seems to appear and disappear. And that's when I said at the end that that ultimately everything points to silence. Because now you're resting in the fact that you are, not you as a person. Once again, we're doing the best we can with the limitations of language. Is resting in what is, and then from the moment the eyes seems to be open and this organism begins to move, so to speak, you know, when you wake up, then life happens and you see how it unfolds. And you notice how thoughts appear and they disappear, and there's nothing I need to do. There's nothing special I need to do about any of this, you know. So in this case, I've said this before in videos, to me meditation is just the fact that I am. So it's a permanent state of meditation. If anything, when I find myself distracted by the content of the mind, in that moment is when I can realize that, okay, this is just a thought, and just the fact of being conscious of that, to me that would be a meditation. But it's not something I do specifically for a period of time to either try to control the mind or thoughts or anything. Now, when you're beginning on this journey, it definitely helped to observe the content of the mind, and for some people, at least it did for me, sitting in silence with my eyes closed, noticing the content of the mind, not trying to control it or anything, that helped me, because it was a way of just for moments to see how the game is played. But now once you see the game how it's played, then the game is played with the eyes open and the eyes closed. It doesn't matter, because it's the same thing. I just notice how life unfolds, and it's a mystery. Why did I wake up today at 5 something in the morning? I was being up since 4 something, 5 o'clock. Well, that's just the way it happened today. You know? And within the context of the dream, yesterday I woke up around probably 9 or so, and I had a very long sleep, and today, there I am, you know. So here I am doing this video. And life will continue to unfold. How will unfold? I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that life unfolds as it will, and I am. And these videos are pointing to the fact that you are. Right now, you cannot say that you are not. You are being. This is all there is. This is the simplicity of this. Only when the mind gets involved makes it complicated, and that's when it begins to introduce all sorts of concepts. So this is when, again, the language becomes very murky here, and we're just trying to keep it simple. Right now, you cannot say that you are not. Right now, you are. In spite of words that you're hearing, you are being. You cannot say that you're not being. You cannot deny existence. You cannot deny the fact that you are. In that isness, in that fact that you are, just don't believe any thoughts that crosses the mind. They'll be used for conceptual reasons here. If you want to make breakfast, your thoughts are telling you the kitchen is over there, and it tells you what kind of food you're going to eat. All that kind of thought is fine. But for what we're addressing here, just life is, and you are that life. You are life. That's it. You see? It's very simple. There's nothing to do, simply being. And really, there's nothing else to say. You see? Just be. And that's all. Okay, well, this is inspiration that came through. I hope it served. And as always, may peace permeate the mind so that love can be extended.